Good evening and welcome. Tonight we will be going over the history and geography of Cagayan Valley in the Philippines. There's some interesting geography here to talk about. As implied in the name, this is a valley. You can see the Cagayan River flowing this way. The Cagayan River is the largest and the longest river in the Philippines. And on every side of this valley are mountains. You can see these are the Sierra Madre Mountains. For here to the east, to the west are the Cordillera. And to the south here are the Caraballo Mountains. So, this beautiful valley in between all of that, with this long, gorgeous coastline at the end of the river here, facing the Babuyan Channel in the South China Sea, with the Philippine Sea just over here in the Pacific Ocean. You can see goodness, I always mispronounce this place. Tuguegarao, the capital of the province right there along the river. And you can see all the towns there along the river there. There's lots of beautiful waterfalls and caves and things in the mountains here. We'll of course check them out on Google Earth. Oh, I forgot to mention, we're on the island of Luzon. It's important when you're talking about the Philippines to start with what island you're on. Luzon is like I believe it's the largest island, might be Mindanao. But it's a pretty significant island because Manila is just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the province we're in today on Luzon. But Luzon isn't the only island we're going to talk about tonight, as all of these islands up here in the Luzon Strait are also part of the province. These are the Babuyan Islands, and these are the Bataan Islands. And just to the north here, you can see the Bashi Channel can you even see on there? I can't tell from here. Taiwan is just right up there. So, in between Luzon and Taiwan are these islands. They are volcanic islands. Let me see, it's this one right here, I believe, was created in like the 1950s, rising from the sea and all that. They are very volcanic and very lush and beautiful. We'll of course look at all of the islands on Google Earth. But I think we should start with history. About the history of this province. There were and are countless indigenous peoples within the Cagayan Valley and the islands up here in the Luzon Strait. All sorts of different kinds. People living in the valley, people living in the mountains, people living along the shore, people sailing between the islands, fishing, hunting, living quite different lifestyles depending on what part of the islands they're living on. All sorts of different kinds of indigenous peoples. But very famously, the Spanish claimed these islands, and in the 1580s, like the late 1580s, they arrived in this corner of Luzon to start establishing missions, asserting their control over the many indigenous peoples here, much to the chagrin of many of them. Let's talk about the history briefly, because not a lot of significant events happened here, but there are important things to mention in the history of the Philippines. Like, for example, the islands in 1899 coming under the control of the United States. And in December 1941, coming under the control of Japan, starting the Pacific stage of World War II. Japan would hold on to this area and the Philippines and many other places in the Pacific until 1945, when they surrendered to ending the war. And independence, I believe independence was 1940. I want to say 46 for the Philippines. 46 or 48. Goodness. I think I'm thinking of it different. Hold on. Oh, gosh, I'm stuck to the map, as usual. No, I think it is 46 for the Philippines. Okay, I'm pretty sure. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. In the 1970s, though, there were many protests in this area against the Marcos regime, culminating in 1972 when Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law throughout the Philippines. And his reign would last into the 1980s. But I don't remember what year he fled, but it was in the 1980s. And then, to be honest, the only other history facts I found was a sad event in 2020. In November, a typhoon came through and the Cagayan River flooded. It was pretty devastating. But like historical events that happened here or in the islands, it was kind of few and far between. It's mostly stuff I found were about the protests in the early 1970s, but that's pretty much it. But the good news is there's a lot of slideshows in this area on Google Earth to show you. So why don't we just hop over to Google Earth and we'll check out this beautiful corner of the Philippines on my tablet. Let's go. Here we are in Cagayan Valley. But let's start by zooming out so you can see exactly where we are in the world. Here are the beautiful Philippines. This big archipelago here, kind of creating like the border between Southeast Asia and the Pacific, right? You can see China's up there. There's Southeast Asia, Malaysia and Indonesia. Australia's just right down there. Japan's just right up there. Here's the Philippines. So this is the island of Luzon. You can see there's Manila. Big ol' huge Manila. We're up here, and you can even see the valley here. All of the green surrounding it. There's the big lush valley. So, where to start? I guess we'll start over. I can never say it right. Cagayan. Goodness. And take a look around. Can't remember if there's anything specific I wanted to show you here. We'll just look at this slideshow. It's mostly the stuff I want to show you is up in the mountains. Yeah, not the most exciting slideshow here. But still interesting. The Boogeyman Falls. Oh yeah, that's haunted. Whatever's happening here, that's spooky. Ugh, okay. Callao Cave. Oh gosh, that's terrifying. There are so many caves up here, and they're all kind of creepy, but kind of in a cool way. Look, there's like this looks like a little church. Like a little pulpit there. I don't know, maybe it's just a stage. There's a play happening there. It's very hauntingly beautiful, but caves kind of give me the heebie-jeebies. Let's see. Oh, that's cool. There's the river there. It's Callao Caves. Take nothing but pictures, leave nothing but footprints, kill nothing but time. That's nice. pretty, pretty, pretty. Big, beautiful valley there with the lovely river. Before we head over to these mountains, I need to show you. I forgot to say it when we were doing geography. Let me put the borders back up. Cagayan Valley. Here we go. It's like down here. Yes, Mount Pulag. I forgot to point out Mount Pulag, which is the highest mountain on Luzon. Yeah, Luzon's highest peak. Third highest mountain in the Philippines. 26th on Earth. Pretty great. Look how beautiful. Oh, wow. Almost got some chocolate hills there. But quite lush and beautiful above the clouds here. Well, that's lovely, isn't it? Ooh, and then down below in this beautiful twisty jungle. Now that's pretty, I think. Little butterfly there on the plaque. Some terraced farming you can see down there on the hills. Oh wow, and the stars above. I wonder if that's photoshopped because it's too perfect. But imagine. I love like astronomy photography. It's so pretty. And look at the big green rolling hills here. Hiding out in the long grass there. The big beautiful waterfall. Very cool. There's lots of big peaks along here in the Cordillera. You can see some snow there. Or snow, maybe that's mines. It's probably mines. Yeah, that's definitely mines. Ooh, big peaks. Big peaks. Mount Ulap. Very, very cool. There's all kinds of beautiful slideshows here. As always, I'm out of the area. As always, I highly recommend that you check out this area for yourself. Make sure I am still in Cagayan Valley. Looks like it. That looks like the river. Yeah. I want to see these waterfalls. The Ponte Falls. Oh, how nice. That's a good one. I like the kind that you can kind of walk across and get your feet all cold and wet. And make big hearts in. Getting their shoes all wet though. Wait, what's that? I hope that's a seashell or a shell of some kind and not some kind of scary slug. Because it kind of looked like a scary slug. What is that? I think they're slugs, you guys. Oh, okay. That's an extra pose right there. Okay. That's chilling with the bros by the waterfall. Chilling alone by the waterfall. Posing and hang loose at the waterfall. But yeah, there's all kinds of pretty. We should look at the rolling hills next. More waterfalls. So many pretty pictures here. Look at that one. I want to see the rolling hills. Oh my gosh, gorgeous. Oh, pretty. Look at the sweet cows there. Gorgeous area. The Philippines is so pretty. Alright, let's head back over to this part of the island. Because there's some more neat cave areas over here. I just have to remember where they are. Let's look at maybe like one more cool cave. What's that? I don't know. Here we go. This one was pretty great. Tabaco Cave System. Look how terrifying. Is it just me? Isn't this creepy? I don't know. I've only been in one cave once. I've been in 2 caves in my life. Look, there's a cool snail. And I don't know, whenever I'm in one, I think about how I'm like under the earth and like there's people just walking on the ground above my head. There's little lizards or maybe geckos since it's the Philippines. And then I'm not a claustrophobic person, but I kind of understand claustrophobia. I kind of get it, you know. What really ruined me though was watching the fascinating horror about Nutty Putty Cave. I don't know if I can ever go back in a cave. But anyway, here is the beautiful beaches and rock formations. This is really cool. Because look, all these cool little arches there. You can explore all these neat rocks and enjoy the beach. So lovely. All these cool rocks. Oh, I love that big, beautiful pink sky. Standing in this area here, getting all splashed in this big, like that's not a cave, that's like an arch, like a long archway, I suppose. Really cool. I think that was all I mean, there's more, but I think those are all my favorite ones. Mount Cagua. Let's look at Mount Cagua real quick before we head over to the islands. Smoky Mount Cagua. Or maybe just cloudy. What a pretty waterfall. Very cloudy there. Beautiful views. Nope, definitely a volcano. Look at all the steam coming out there. Well, that's fun. Hiking over the mossy rocks, over the river. That's definitely a big no pool. Don't go in that water. It's a little bit hot. A little bit steamy hot. Ooh, a white beach. Let's look at that real quick. And see, there's all kinds of pretty slideshows up here. Highly recommend that you come here and poke around yourself. It's a good summertime thing to do. Look at these beautiful places with lovely beaches and things. Cool boats. Oh, look at that aerial shot. I wouldn't really call that a white beach, but I mean, I guess. But yeah, all of the pictures here are gorgeous all throughout. I think there are some cool caves over by Big Cow. Yep, right here. Blue waterfalls. Now this looks very inviting. That looks like a great pool to swim in. And of course, there's a terrifying cave. Yeah, that water looks quite nice. And you can imagine how humid it is. It's the Philippines, right? Ooh, they're like hiking up the rapids here on that rope. Very treacherous. Also very treacherous, precarious bridge there. Oh, that's a pretty picture. Yep. Blue waterfalls and cave system. Yeah, all kinds of neat stuff around here to look at. Highly recommend that you check it out. But let's head to the islands here. I was going to say some of them, let's look at Donut Rock. Some of these islands have lots of neat stuff to see. Some of them have nothing at all to look at. Donut Rock. Very much living up to its name. That's really cool. Wow. Beautiful. Let's see. And of course, as always, you should definitely check out these islands as well, because you can find some good stuff. There's another cave up there. Let's see, falls or cave? Why not both? Batara Falls. How gorgeous. Look at that. Look how clear that reflection is in the water. Pretty. And straight down. And look at the size. There's a person right there. Lusaka Cave. Let's see. Ooh. Oh wow, wow, wow. That's kind of neat. Terrifying, but neat. Wow. Yeah, that's a little scary, but yeah, it would be fun. I wouldn't mind swimming in a cave like that if there's lots of light and lots of space. But cave diving is something that I would literally never do. Not ever. No, thank you. Let me see. I'm trying to remember. Oh, I think it's this one. I was like, there was one with a bunch of cool volcanoes. It's definitely this one, because look, the big crater there. And a big one here. Look at this. Boom. Look at that big guy. The Smith volcano. And it's very pretty, of course. Well, jumping around on top of a volcano. There's the coast too. You can see it from the water. Being kind of hard to miss. It's a big old volcano. Then this is Papayan Claro volcano. Is that the name of this big guy? Or this big guy? I think that's this big guy. Active volcano. Let's see from the water there. That's beautiful. What a hike that would be. These would be some fun islands to visit if you're into hiking and adventure sports like that. Cave swimming and whatnot. Very much a fun paradise. Let's hop up to this archipelago. Yep, because that's Taiwan over there. Not the stone houses, that's right. I think that's... Yeah, I think... Wait. No, okay. This is what I'm thinking of then. It is these houses. Because these are the, like, oldest houses in these islands that are still standing. They're very pretty. Little church there, little chapel. Very neat little row houses made out of stones that, of course, were sourced around the island. Pretty cool. Weavers Association. Get a little cart right there around the island and buy your own little stone house. Little souvenir. That's cool. I should have looked this up. I see a lot of photos of people wearing these like straw wigs on this island. I'm guessing that's an indigenous thing. Because like lots of the slideshows on here show people wearing those. Let's look at Twin Rock. Twin Rock. Oh yeah, look at that. That's so cool. That would be fun to drive past. Let me see. I think it was this slideshow. It was pretty great as well. It's pretty short, but look at how lush it is. Very untouched, unspoiled islands here. The House of Take. Very cool. Maybe these were the houses. Yeah, see, look at. These might have been the oldest houses, actually, but it looks like pumice stone. It is pumice stone, which is a volcanic stone. Yeah, look at these. That must be an indigenous thing, wearing the wigs made out of straw. Looks fun. Oh, cute. there's a lot to see here. Apparently, someone in Taiwan tried to make like an official like proclamation that these islands belong to Taiwan, but that clearly went nowhere. Wait, can we see the famous windswept Arius tree? Whoa, look at that. This poor tree's been through it. It has been battered by winds for so long, it is just at an ankle. Goodness. Let's look at this. Beautiful cliffs. Yeah, there are just so many beautiful slideshows to see in this part of the Philippines. I can't recommend checking it out enough because there's so much more that I could have shown you. This puppy agrees. You should come look at it in any spare time that you have on Google Earth. Oh, look at that waterfall coming down. It's so pretty. Let's see. Let's find one more slideshow. See if there's anything up here. Probably not. They look kind of barren. Yeah, it's a little small. Let's see here. Nope. Looks pretty empty. Wow, big ol' peak though. Let's head back to the mainland. Mainland, it's an island. Let's head back to the main island and find one more picture to look at. I could go to Santiago and see what we can find around here. Kind of in the valley, you can see all of the farmland around here. Let's look at this farm and private pool. Sounds like my kind of place. Mama Clay Farm. If it'll load. There we go. Ooh, nice. That is a nice pool. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this style of content, please consider subscribing. This is an ongoing series on the channel. Next, we're going to head over to Moldova. Back to Moldova. We're going to poke around a bit on Google Earth. There's not much to see. Again, it's a small region in a small country. But there are some sights to see we can check out. Please don't forget to, let me unstick myself. Goodness, give this video a thumbs up and let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I hope that you found this video to be relaxing and educational. And I hope that you have a good